So Elon Musk and his DOGE lackey agents are currently staging a coup of the United States government. We have to talk about this. It's a serious story. Read the headlines here. Senior USAID security officials put on leave after refusing Musk's DOGE access to agency systems. Musk actually tweeted out just 2 hours ago. From his point of view, he's claiming that the USAID is a criminal organization. Time for it to die. We're also talking about physical altercation. This is from an account that he interacts with. It says, breaking USAID senior officials put on leave after physically trying to stop DOGE from accessing agency systems. I want to go through the description of this thing, and I'll give you a basic gist of it. Musk is showing up with his agents, hacker-type people. They're age 19 to 24. They show up in these black SUVs. Musk got his kid there as a human shield, and they're trying to get access to government buildings on a Saturday night. That's what's going on. This is a coup. You can read the description here. It says the two top security officials at U.S. Agency for International Development were put on administrative leave Saturday night, right? So it's all happening really fast. Again, it's on a weekend and at night. After refusing to allow officials from Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency to access systems at the agency. So Musk just shows up and is like demanding access, and they're like, no. Even after DOGE personnel threatened to call law enforcement. So the DOGE personnel is like, well, if you don't let us in, we're gonna, call someone to come arrest you, kind of stuff, right? We're gonna call law enforcement. It says here, according to sources, personnel from the Musk-created office physically tried to access the USAID headquarters in Washington, D.C., and were stopped, right? So not everyone is going along with this. They're just like, who are you? What gives you the right to access our system, that kind of stuff, which is a natural reaction from any one of these agencies where you would oppose Musk, who just shows up and wants access to all your computer systems. The DOGE personnel demanded to be let in, right? So Musk and his people are like, you have to let us in, demanding to be let in, and threatened to call the U.S. Marshals to be allowed access. And then you would put the U.S. Marshals in an awkward situation on like, okay, who has power here? I live in Korea, and we just had the situation where President Yoon tried to stage a military coup. The Congress and the people actually fought back and ultimately arrested President Yoon, and now he's being indicted for insurrection. So he's detained right now. It's a very different situation in Korea because we have a different history than what's, say, happening in USA. I have not seen something like this in the USA ever in my lifetime, nor did I think I'd ever see anything like this in the USA. And this is I think the third agency now, because he was over at the OPM was like the Office of Personnel Management. Then you have the General Service Administration. This is now the USAID agency. There could be other situations where Musk is trying to access computer files. Basically, what from what I gather, they're trying to get personnel files. They're trying to figure out payment stuff. So the idea is that if there's any programs or anything that Congress has approved that Musk doesn't like, he'll just try to cut the funding to it, like the actual funding, the payment systems. This is all, in my opinion, all illegal and unconstitutional. Right? This is just an overreach of powers here, and I don't even know what power DOGE has, as this is a new organization, whatever you want to call this thing, that's just put into action by an executive order. I've already seen that the Fox News people are like, oh, look how awesome Trump is. Look at all these executive orders. He's doing a lot of great things quickly and more than any other president in history. But it's like, you're doing things unilaterally, right? This is not how democracy functions. This is more a description of the situation, but I hope you guys understand the seriousness of this. Remember, Musk shows up in his black SUV cars on a Saturday night in front of this government offices and demanding to be let in and demanding to be access to the computer systems. Just understand the significance of that. Picture that in your mind. The DOGE personnel wanted to gain access to U.S. aid security systems and personnel files. Two of those sources also said the DOGE personnel wanted to access to classified information. Wow. Which only those with security clearances and specific need to know are able to access. So not only just wanting the personnel files, security systems. So it says gain access to security systems and personnel files, and some of the stuff is classified. If you don't know, the USAID organization, I'll just read a brief description of it, says the United States Agency for International Development is the primary U.S. agency that provides foreign aid and development assistance to developing countries. USAID's work includes helping countries recover from disasters, escape poverty, and engage in democratic reform. So that's the description of it. The reason why I'm reading the description from it, and this is actually from Google, is because they've actually taken down the website of the USAID website. The website's not functioning. I want to put this in context as well, because you have to understand, like this is a much bigger story than just this incident, which this incident is not good. Again, Musk shows up on a Saturday night demanding access to, right, as described, classified material. January 17, 2025, this was the headline here. Chinese hackers access Yellen's computer in the U.S. Treasury breach, right? That was from Bloomberg. Another one, Chinese hackers access Yellen's computer in U.S. Treasury breach. This is something that I pointed out before when it was going on live, that Musk was kind of making joke about this, right? He actually, this is Musk tweeting out on January 17th, the same day, he tweeted out, 12-year-old script kitty could hack into Yellen's computer. I doubt she knows how to reboot her Wi-Fi router. Do you guys understand like how ridiculous this is? So the story comes out that Chinese hackers are effectively attacking our, computer systems. This is the Treasury. And then Musk makes jokes about that. He never says anything bad about the Chinese government, right? Doesn't tweet bad things about Russia, but yet he attacks American institutions and literally is showing up on a Saturday night demanding access. And this is just, a couple weeks after Chinese hackers are trying to break into our systems. I hope you guys understand the significance of how terrible this stuff is. I can't even make jokes about it. It's just frankly not funny. And I'll say this as well. There's a lot of people that work in the U.S. government that are not partisan, right? You swear to protect the Constitution. You're just like, I'm doing my job. It's just not a political job. I process payments. I carry out the acts of Congress, these kind of things. And this is sort of how our system should work, right? You can't just come in and what Musk is doing, demand access to all this stuff and trying to skirt security clearance laws, these kind of things. I've been reading these reports like all along. And this has been a thing as Trump's been coming in where they've been trying to skirt transparency laws. These kind of people too, right? If you remember, Trump's got his whole meme coin thing, crypto stuff. That's a way to get money from who knows where. The same way that Trump is even giving, stock to the nominees, right? As Patel and McMahon. And so when you put that money, put the stock to people, then anyone can throw money into that said equity, which would be Trump's organization, Trump Digital Media. So we don't know where this money is coming from. Musk is an unelected bureaucrat, and that's sort of the words that Musk has been using lately. And he's gaining access to all kinds of things. There is so many problems with this. This should be the biggest story right now in the world, but I feel like many of the news organizations are trying to distract you with other things. And I understand, guys, I completely understand. There was a plane crash, right? And you want to know all the details of the plane crash, and I don't want to discount the loss of life. I understand it's extremely important. I mean, it's all important. But I feel like this is the most important story in the world right now is Musk and his DOGE lackey agents staging a coup. I don't know what else to say. I think it's obvious to me. And the way that Musk is doing, which is very interesting, it's all public, so that they can't deny that it's happening. He's like literally tweeting out. I noticed this as well, and this is 8 minutes ago, right? I was like, because every time I see one of these stories, I'm like, what the heck are these people doing? So this is Musk, from Musk's point of view, 8 minutes ago. USAID has been paying media organizations to publish their propaganda. So he's again attacking American institutions. So when you actually read it, because I understand how they're trying to basically give you disinformation. So he's got this Mike Benz account. I think it's some sort of right-wing conspiracy theory type of account. And they're showing a publication from the USAID. And so right now, Musk has access to, I guess, all these files. And theoretically, he's dumping these files to who knows who. I have no idea, right? And so what they do is they highlight this picture that says, okay, disinformation primer, right? So they highlight that, and they want you to make you think that the USAID is out there pumping disinformation, right? But if you actually look at the document, right, and I'm looking at it right now for myself, is basically that has a fist in the air and it says like, fake media, misinformed social, false world campaign, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What this looks like to me is a publication that's saying, hey, we have to fight disinformation in the world and we have to fight misinformation in the world. That's how I read that. I think it's pretty obvious. But, if you're from the Musk and the Musk camp and all his bots, you manipulate people to get them to think whatever you want. That's what's going on. And so what's frustrating about this, and this is trying to explain it to you, like from the Korean point of view, right? Because I was, like I said, here in Korea, President Yoon tried to do a military coup. The difference is that that's in Seoul, and Seoul is essentially this biggest city in Korea, so a lot of people live there. So that's why the people just basically literally come out to the streets, go right down there, and start blocking the military coup, like physically blocking. And the soldiers involved in the military coup and President Yoon, and you can find several videos on that stuff. Not all of them went along with it. They knew it was an illegal order. This situation is different because if you guys ever been to DC, a lot of the buildings are basically government buildings. So on weekends, it's kind of empty. If you guys ever been down there, and everyone goes home back to Arlington or whatever, wherever people live, it's a different environment. So it's not like all the people can just come and physically block Musk and defend our institutions. It's a very, very different situation. So I think that's one of the reasons why you're seeing a different situation, say in Korea or compared to the DC. Like if Musk tried to pull this off in like New York City, there'd be all these people to show up and like blocking him, like helping out our people. I'm actually quite upset about this when the more I really think about this. This is another headline here: more USAID staff ousted as Trump administration dismantles aid agency. I think they fired like 100 people or something like that. Then you have illegal stuff with that. You can't just fire anyone you want in the government. I mean, this is why we have Congress, guys. Hopefully Monday session they come in and people start fighting for this. The issue is you have a lot of, I'm just being perfectly frank with you, you have a lot of Republicans that are in Trump's camp, and I don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say. All I can do is just point out what the corruption's happening and the coup that is happening right now on a weekend. And I know maybe some people are like, oh, but Chris, it's the Super Bowl and I'm watching NFL, and I think that's, and it may even be the Super Bowl. I don't know. I'm not in USA. I know football is going on. Maybe that's what people care about. And to me, this is the most important story right now. Another headline: USAID security officials on leave after refusing access to Musk allies. And if you want to read this, there's a description. Actually, we have the names of the people that's working with Musk. Wired has been doing a great job, because I think what's going on is like, how can I say it? There are, circles, in the Silicon Valley community that would know things, right? That would know Musk, know the people he's working with. And it really is young kids. This is the headline here. It says the young, inexperienced engineers aiding Elon Musk's government takeover. Engineers between 19 and 24, most linked to Musk companies, are playing a key role as it seizes control of federal infrastructure. Because I think a lot of older people, they know don't get associated with Musk, don't mess with this kind of stuff. And I'll just say this: if you're a young kid and you just think Musk is awesome because he's rich, right? If that's all you think, just ask yourself, what how do you convince yourself that if you show up at a government building on a Saturday night, right, not during working hours, because remember, when you're young, you don't know what protocol is, but just imagine you arrive at whatever government building on a Saturday night, and the security that works at the government building is like looking at passes and stuff like that. I'm like, who the F are you, right? You can't belong in here. And then your boss is like calling, trying to call the essentially U.S. Marshals on these people. Just understand that Musk is not a superhero in this situation. If Musk was doing this the right way, he would not be showing up on a Saturday night. He would be showing up during business hours. You'd have some sort of appointment. You would have, hey, next week we're going to head over to that office. We have a meeting with whoever, right? You would be doing this all above board. This kind of thing is a coup. I want to make sure that it's clear for young people watching this. If you don't understand how this is highly irregular, highly illegal, a lot of people are probably going to get in, let's hope so. I'll just say, let's hope so. A lot of people do go to prison over this kind of stuff. And you do not want to be associated with any of these things happening. This is the other headlines come from the Wall Street Journal. And they tend to be more conservative leaning, but I've said this so many times, guys. I have many friends on, you could call it different sides of olive if you want. I hate talking about left right stuff. I think it's stupid. It's not really about that. I know, several Americans that they want to do the right thing. I know people can get misled, but I had so many friends. Like, we can disagree about tax policy, we can disagree about minimum wage, you can disagree on all kinds of stuff. But there's certain things like you shouldn't disagree on. We shouldn't disagree on, like, hey, that's the Constitution, or hey, these are the powers of the executive branch. This is judicial. This is the legislative branch. Right? These kind of things, like how we should be functioning. This is the other headline. Trump kicks aside Congress with sweeping claims of presidential power. That's sort of what the discussions are. And I know I keep repeating these movies over and over again, but just so you guys have some context of how this stuff works, because I know for Americans who've never thought about these things, you don't know, because you don't know. That's why I keep mentioning this is called 12/12 today. It's about a coup in Korea. You can kind of see how that functions, how that works. Then 1987 is the follow-up movie when the people basically stand up, but it was many years later. So, people didn't really know what was going on, but that's a different era. Back in the 70s and 80s, it's a different era. The government would tightly control information, so regular people don't really know what's going on. Now we're in the age of, like, you can know what's going on right away. And so that's why it changed. And today, in 2024, 2025, we're in Korea, freaking arrested the president, right? It's a very, very different situation in USA. I can't believe what's happening right now, to be perfectly frank. And I just want to just again, put this image in your mind. Musk shows up in a bunch of black SUVs at the government agency, demands access. The guards say no. And then Musk is like, I'm going to call the authorities on you, and then has those people put on administrative leave. And now you got these 19 to 24-year-old, computer hacker type lackey people accessing our systems. And this comes 2 weeks after a Chinese, attempting to break into the Treasury computers. So I want you to understand the importance of this stuff. I want to hear your thoughts on this. Please, I'll catch you all in the next video.